Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, economic stresses of the pandemic are still rising. The American efforts to get back to work are facing all sorts of pushback, not the least from a population increasingly fearful of a coming second wave. The stresses there are immense on all sides. American inflation is falling away, according to their official April survey. It is down to just 0.3% year on year. Diving petrol costs had a lot to do with the overall result, but food costs rose, rents rose, medical care costs rose more than 5%, all items that will hurt in a pandemic where job losses are widespread. US retail activity in the past month was down 1.5% compared with the same April period, but 7.5% lower than a year ago. These are lesser falls than a week ago. Industrial powerhouse Boeing is now very hobbled, and the impact is being felt in factories nationwide. They had 0 orders for the second time this year in April, and customers cancelled another 108 orders for its grounded 737 MAX plane, compounding its worst start in the year in almost 60 years. And in Canada, there are reports that commercial landlords only collected 15% of their May rents from tenants. China also reported its CPI for April overnight. They say inflation there rose 3.3%, with food prices up 14% year on year. Petrol was down almost 8%, rents were up 0.1%, and medical care costs were up 2.2%. Despite these rises, however, China now has a serious problem with producer price deflation, which is now at a 4-year low. China's stimulus is having some impact, however. Excavator sales hit its second highest on record in April, up 60%, and demand for cement jumped significantly as infrastructure construction picked up. And India has announced a $450 billion pandemic economic relief plan. In Australia, the latest business confidence report shows these levels were deeply negative in April, in a trough twice as deep as their last recession in the 1990s. And internationally, the OECD is saying that the leading indicators they track in most major economies collapsed by unprecedented levels in April, as pandemic containment measures have a really severe global economic impact on production, consumption and confidence. The US Treasury 10-year yield is lower at just on 0.68%, a 4 basis point retreat. Gold is marginally firmer today, up $4 to $1,701 an ounce. Oil prices are also up marginally too. And the Kiwi dollar is also a little firmer this morning, up to 60.9 US cents. On the cross rates, will open higher at 93.9 Australian cents, and against the euro, we're a little changed at 56.1 euro cents. These overall rises mean the trade-weighted index is now just on 67. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.